Today we're going to compare the two scanning devices, the iTOVi and the Zyto Compass. Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit about each of these, what they do, what they don't do. So let me just give you a little background. I'm Dr. Peter Minke. I have been using the Zyto Elite for maybe about 10 years or so. I've had less experience, of course, with the iTOVi because it's much newer. But I wanted to compare these two, and right now, these two seem to be kind of competing a little bit for, for your attention in terms of, well, should I get which scanner? Should I get a scanner? Which scanner should I get? Why would I get one over the other? Or perhaps, why would I get both? And I'm going to explain how, why that. Okay, so let's first of all just look at the hardware. The basic hardware of the Zyto Compass is what's called the hand cradle. Okay, hand cradle operates through a USB port that connects to a laptop. Okay, so the whole setup requires, it doesn't have to be a laptop, a computer. The setup requires that you have a computer on hand. There's no Bluetooth, it's all wired in. Okay, so you either have to have, if you're at a show or trade show or something like that, or you're doing a class, you have to have your laptop with you, or you're at your office where the computer is. So it does require, so these are just the hardware requirements, it requires that it's a PC computer. Can't use a Mac. Okay, so that's the Zyto. You get the hand cradle, and the software is then loaded on the computer, and you access all that through a very easy interface. The iTOVi is very different from the standpoint of it operates through an app on a phone, on a smartphone. So in that regard, the iTOVi is much more versatile from a standpoint of literally you could be sitting in an airport talking to someone, and you could, hey, I've got the scanner, I could do a scan right now, and you could share with them the preference scan, which I'll explain here in a minute, the choices for the Young Living products. I'm assuming right now we're talking about Young Living. Now, I've got this currently with a wire connected to it. This does not connect. This is the charger wire. Okay, it is charged with the USB. Once it's charged, you unplug that. Now it Bluetooths to your smartphone, so it literally is completely free flowing. Now this then has would be the equivalent of the hand cradle. Now this is old. They are coming out with a new version of this. It's a little bit more robust. It has 4 points of contact, which is becoming more similar. So let's talk about these two, comparing them. Obviously size-wise, weight-wise, and the convenience of it, this is going to be a lot easier to carry around and carry with you. This one has 6 points of contact, a palm and 5 finger pads. So this does its checking, and I'll talk about the technology in just a minute, but this does its checking, in triplicate at least. And so this is a little bit more sophisticated, a little more accurate of a scan reading in terms of what it's reading compared to this, which the new one will have 4 points. Again, they're coming up, sort of trying to compete in the technology with the Zyto scanner. So the Zyto hand cradle. Both of these use the system called Galvanic skin response, which is to say it's the same as a lie detector. When you see in a movie, there's someone that they've wired up their head, and they ask them questions like, "Where were you on Saturday night?" And if you're embarrassed or nervous about the answer, your skin will flush, right? The flushing response, you're embarrassed. That change in the capillary flush that happens on the skin changes the electrical quality of the skin, and it picks that up. Okay, and so that's where they're wiring you up. Well, the technology has advanced to the point where you can read that through the hand. You no longer have to do that. Actually, it could be anywhere on the body. You no longer have to do that, through wiring up. So it's essentially, the technology is sound. It's good. I mean, anyone who's out there saying, "Oh, all this scanner stuff is bunk," the technology is not real. No, it is real. It is reading the stress response, which is what it is. That's what that galvanic skin response is, the stress response. It's reading the stress response. Now, what you do with that reading is a whole different issue. So let's go into the algorithms, so the actual program that this uses. Let's talk about the Zyto first. On the Zyto, you put your hand on the cradle. There has to be good contact. I have another video. I'll put the link in the post here that I'll go over how to interpret the report of a Zyto Compass. So I'll go through a little bit more of this. But basically, you have to have good points of contact, and it's a very smart scanner, so that if you have to interrupt it, if a finger comes off, or if you pull your hand off, or if you get interrupted, it will start back where you left off. So it's very intelligent from that perspective, very robust scan. So what this is, it puts the point of contact in there, and it begins a scan. what the scan does is check you for 76 different biomarkers. Those biomarkers are relevant to your general health quality. Okay, so these are things that should be balanced, and what it will do is identify out of those 76 markers which ones are out of balance, or how many of them are out of balance. You don't get to see which one is out of balance. You don't get to see the specificity of that, but it's okay, and that actually keeps it compliant with the FDA. That you're not going to be diagnosing, prescribing anything, and you want to stay clear of all of that. What this is really doing is identifying supplements or essential oils, if in case of Young Living, essential oils and supplements that are helpful for you to make progress in your wellness journey. Okay, so that's the whole point of making this more efficient. I liken it to, for those people who are familiar with muscle testing, this is like an electronic muscle tester that leaves the ambiguity of the testing process out of the picture. So it's just me and the computer, no bias of the tester, okay? Or sometimes, I don't know about for those who have muscle tests, I can actually bias myself on a muscle test. So what I'm saying is this keeps that clean. So for me as a scientist, a little bit cleaner, and I like the rapidity of it. And the nice thing about this one, it has a very, very accurate scan system. The algorithm checks right. So what it'll do is, again, once it finds out how many of those 76 markers are out of balance, it then scans the entire list of Young Living products, and it ranks them in a response mechanism. It ranks them for the highest preferred to the lowest preferred, and then it starts taking the number one product, and it rescans the ones. Let's say, for example, out of 76, you had 40 markers that were out of balance. Go and watch my other video about how significant that is. I'm not going to talk about that here. But let's say there's 40 out of balance, 40 markers out of balance. Then it'll take their first product. Let's say it's oregano oil. I'm just throwing that out there. And it says, okay, does oregano oil balance any of those points? And you find out that it balances 22 out of those 40. I'm just throwing a scenario. And so then now you have 18 that are still out of balance, and it goes through the list from top to bottom until you get completely balanced. By that method, what Zyto is doing here through the Compass is giving you a very specific, customized program that is for you right now, and it's the most accurate right now. Both of these scanners, again, are using Galvanic skin response, so I'll talk about the accuracy of that and how it becomes inaccurate. Okay, but that's the basics of the scan here for the Compass, and then it gives a report and generates that. So you get a very customized report that is targeted toward bringing into balance things that should be balanced in your body in a wellness category, and in the current state you're in, they're out of balance based on the stress response indicators, and it's helping you get back to balance for that. So a great wellness tool to target your supplements toward a certain place. That get the biggest bang for your buck on the supplements that you're buying. Now, how is that one different? How is the iTOVi different? So what the iTOVi does is it does not do a stress analysis of any of your biomarkers. Okay, there's no biomarkers that are in there. What it does is it takes the product list, in this case Young Living, and it ranks them from top to bottom. And then it tells you the top products that you want, what I call a preference list. Okay, and you might look at that and go, well, that's it? That seems very limited compared to the Compass. And from that perspective, on just that, it seems that would be the case. And you say, well, why would I ever want to buy the iTOVi versus the Compass? And let me explain why. In the Compass scan, you do not have access to the product list. It is going to be scanned no matter what. They're going to scan from top to bottom the product list, and whether those products are out of stock or whether you have them or not, that doesn't matter. If a product comes up on your customized scan and it's out of stock and you can't get it, then your customized scan is no longer customized. You've lost some of the power of this. Okay, and as we know with essential oils, there's a commodity market. You can't just create more essential oils. So sometimes when the essential oils got out of stock, they're out for a little bit, and it takes some time to get those back in. And that's just the nature of essential oils, okay? And they're powerful tools, and so we want to use them, and sometimes that can happen. So the Compass does not have any way to insulate against that. The iTOVi, on the other hand, gives you that insulation. It's a faster scan, it's more convenient, and it gives you that list. So you have the top 12 products, that the Young Living Arsenal has to offer, and you can just pick or top 10, I should say, and you can change that. You can set it down to give me the top 4, give me the top 6. It's a versatile algorithm. What's even more versatile is that you can go into the product list and select only the ones that you want. So let's say you are at home, it's 2 in the morning, you have a family member that has a wellness issue, and you're wanting to know what product to use, but you can't order it at that point. You need to have it on hand. So you go in and you input, you've already done this because you kind of keep track. You input all the Young Living oils and products that you already have on hand. They're sitting in your shelf. Now you run the algorithm with your, as simple as your phone, take it over, your kid, whoever it is that you do the scan, and it comes up with the top preferred 10 products, and those are the ones you're going to bias your usage toward for this person who needs to have a boost up in their wellness. So the accuracy of it from a standpoint of maybe a little bit less specific, less customized in terms of an actual scan program such as the Zyto Compass, but versatile in a way that you just don't have with the Zyto Compass. Okay. Again, when you add the versatility to the fact that you can carry this, it's a very small device and it's hooked to a phone that you're carrying with you, much more versatile, much easier to handle versus lugging around a computer. But like I said, with regard to a specificity of a program, this is awesome with a lot of power behind it. Okay, there's actually a lot of information you can get out of a Compass report, and check that video that I've got in the post here. Okay, so what we have here basically is 2 excellent scanners. They have different applications, and I could see, I have both. I personally have both, and I could see why someone would want to have both. Like I said, when you're talking about, especially for personal family use, I use both. When I'm trying to figure out what to order, and I have my whole order list in front of me, I'm going to place my Essential Rewards order. I'm going to do a Compass because I want to know the top products and specifically something that's going to help myself or my family member or whoever I'm scanning is going to help them get well or stay well and promote that, help them on that wellness journey with that kind of specificity. On the flip side, like I said, if I'm just on a run and gun, just quick and dirty, I want to know what products that I already have, and that's a customizable list that I cannot do with the Compass. Okay, price-wise, they're right now the iTOVi is saying they will get you the brand new iTOVi scanner for $10. That's pretty impressive. $10, and then the $40 monthly fee. Okay, the Zyto Compass normally is $399. It is now on sale for $99. You get the hand cradle, and you pay that $40 monthly fee. Now, in regard to the monthly fee, people say, well, I don't want to pay a monthly fee the rest of my life. Both of these companies offer an option to stop your monthly payment or pause it as needed, and then, of course, your service will not be available in that month that you've paused your payment, and then you could just pick it right back up. So if you decided, I'm going on vacation or whatever, and you don't want to use your Compass or your iTOVi that month, you can pause that. iTOVi has a little fee for doing that. Compass does not. You just pause it, and then you want to get back on, you can log yourself back in and put your payment back in there in your back end and your back end business. Okay, so very, very easy. I have direct experience with Zyto technical support. They're very, very prompt. They're very, very good and quick and very knowledgeable. I don't have any experience with the iTOVi technical because I just haven't used it enough and haven't needed that. So I have, like I said, I've been using the Zyto for years. Sometimes I've had, with the professional version of this software, we've had updates and uploads and things like that I've had to manage. That has not happened with the Compass. It happens with the professional version. I've had those technical issues. So I'm not making the suggestion that there's more technical issues with the Compass. Hasn't been. Okay. So these are very comparable, and I can see why you would want both. Okay. And so that's an option. Now, if you are looking at these scanners and you've kind of gotten some information from this and you're like, okay, I'm ready, I want to get one scanner or the other or both, then please go to your upline who has one of these scanners and use their affiliate. These are both affiliate linked, and so use their affiliate link for that, and so you connect yourself back to them. If you are coming to this video and you have no connection with anyone who has a scanner and you want to get one of these scanners, you can use my affiliate link which I will include in the post. Okay, so I hope this has been helpful, and I will, like I said, look for those the videos explaining in more detail the compass report and a little bit more about the iTOVi. Okay, thanks very much. We'll talk to you later.